In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to rotate a sprite, how to change its angle so that it can be rotated in any way. And that can, of course, be combined with scaling, with changing its anchor point and everything else. So the first thing I want to say is that rotation occurs around the anchor point. So for example, if the anchor point is in the middle and I rotate the sprite, it will rotate around that point. If the anchor point is on the top left corner, it's going to rotate around that point. So keep that in mind. If you're doing a rotation and something's looking wrong, it might be that you're not setting the anchor point to where you need it to be. So let me start by creating another sprite, this.game.add.sprite. This one will be placed in 100, 250, and it will use the key chip that we've from the sprite that we already loaded. See how in this case the image is not necessarily called the same as the key. You can enter anything here, and then as long as you refer to that in a consistent manner, it will work. Let's start by placing that chip to make sure it's loaded. I want to make it a bit smaller. Actually, I'll reduce to half so that we can visualize the rotation more easily. And now I want to rotate it. So to rotate it, we'll just access the angle property and we'll change it to whichever value we want. So it is 0 by default. It's not being rotated. If you set a positive number in degrees, it's rotating clockwise. If you set a negative number, it's doing it counterclockwise. So let's do it counterclockwise. See how it rotated from the anchor point. Let me repeat that again. So that it was there, this is where the anchor point is, and then we're rotating it, and that's how it rotates. So if I want it to rotate from the middle, I have to set the anchor to 0.5. Now it's just going to rotate around its own point. If I do say 90, it will. It was like this, and it rotates like so, clockwise 90 degrees. And this is a good chance also to show how you can use the update function. Update is called many times per second. So what if I was to update the angle of this sprite on every step by a little bit, by say 0.5. You'll see now that this is constantly rotating because I'm updating this the whole time. So that's how you can change the angle, and it's a very first sneak peek of what update can do for you when working with sprites.